Risky choice. How will North Korea pay the price for supporting Russia in Ukraine? Amidst the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, analysts from the US-based Institute for the Study of War, ISW, suggest that North Korea's direct involvement in this war could carry significant risks. According to ISW, Pyongyang aims for its troops to gain real combat experience in modern warfare, experience that could be valuable for North Korea in any similar future conflicts. ISW experts predict that Russian military and political leadership may position North Korean forces in supportive roles during offensives in Ukraine. Reports indicate that North Korean forces are already in the region with Russian troops. The Ukrainian Ministry of Defense estimates that approximately 12,000 North Korean soldiers are slated for deployment to Russia, with some allegedly present in the conflict zone. However, ISW's report also notes that Pyongyang has officially denied all allegations of deploying troops to the war. For North Korean soldiers, the Ukraine battlefield could present numerous challenges, including language barriers while fighting alongside Russian forces. Colonel N.K.I.V., head of the Estonian Defense Forces Intelligence Center, cautions that North Korea's participation is unlikely to bring significant changes to the front line but may result in considerable losses for Pyongyang. On October 30, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin declared that any North Korean forces supporting the conflict against Ukraine would be considered legitimate military targets. This statement was echoed by U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Robert Wood, who warned of dire consequences if North Korean troops entered the war. Meanwhile, as the U.S. and South Korea conduct joint drone assault exercises, North Korea confirmed a successful test of its new generation HWASONG-19 ICBM. These displays of military might by all parties further escalate the already tense situation on the Korean peninsula. North Korea's central news agency, KCNA, reported the successful test of the HWASONG-19 ICBM on October 31, marking a milestone in North Korea's military capabilities. North Korea has emphasized its commitment to enhancing self-defense capabilities, accusing the U.S. and South Korea of destabilizing the Korean peninsula. In a November 1 broadcast, North Korea's central news agency, KCNA, asserted that the HWASONG-19 missile test was a legitimate action, reflecting a sovereign nation's right to self-defense. They framed it as a response to provocations from hostile forces and pledged continued efforts for long-term regional stability. In what appeared to be a reaction to North Korea's missile launch, the South Korean Air Force announced its first joint drone exercise with the U.S. the following day. This drill aimed to showcase Allied military strength, with South Korean drones gathering data and sharing it with American aircraft to conduct precise strikes. Military exercises between the U.S. and its allies on the Korean peninsula often escalate tensions, frequently followed by North Korean missile tests. In a recent press briefing, a spokesperson for China's foreign ministry expressed concern about the situation, emphasizing the importance of maintaining peace and stability on the Korean peninsula. The spokesperson urged all parties to work together to promote dialogue and resolve issues through political means. These tit-for-tat actions, while not new, have intensified regional tensions. Experts highlight the importance of restraint on both sides to create opportunities for dialogue and seek solutions to long-standing issues impacting the lives of people in the region. Amid escalating tensions, satellite images from October 31 revealed that North Korea has excavated at least 2 large trenches cutting across roadways and railways near its border with South Korea. Since demolishing cross-border routes earlier this month, images from Planet Labs show a trench spanning a road and railway west of the Demilitarized Zone, DMZ. Various vehicles, including earth-moving equipment, were spotted at the excavation site. Analysts estimate the trench is approximately 125 meters long and 7 meters wide, with large earth mounds on each side, likely intended as a barrier to sever transportation routes. Additionally, a second large trench was identified at a crossroads along the east coast of the Korean peninsula, cutting across the road leading to an inter-Korean border crossing within the Demilitarized Zone, DMZ. Analysts estimate this trench to be about 150 meters long. According to Planet Labs, trench digging operations may have commenced soon after North Korea destroyed a road near the city of Kaesong in a combined road and rail section near the inter-Korean border on October 15. tensions between North and South Korea have reached their highest level in years, with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un declaring an end to relations and abandoning the goal of long-term reconciliation with South Korea. On the morning of October 31st, North Korea conducted its first intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, test in nearly a year, with Chairman Kim overseeing the launch and describing it as a suitable military response to perceived security threats. North Korea accuses South Korea of raising the risk of nuclear conflict. On November 1st, North Korea's state news agency KCNA released a white paper accusing South Korea of actions that increase the likelihood of nuclear war. Compiled by North Korea's Institute for State Confrontation Studies, the document criticizes South Korea's president for allegedly endangering the country with policies towards Pyongyang. It denounces South Korea's involvement in nuclear conflict planning with the US, closer ties with Japan, and cooperation with NATO, describing these as reckless provocations that drive North Korea to rapidly expand its nuclear arsenal and enhance its nuclear strike capabilities. South Korea's conservative president has taken a hard stance against North Korea, which has continued developing its nuclear and missile arsenals despite UN Security Council resolutions. The South Korean government accuses North Korea of escalating tensions through its weapons testing, and along with its allies, also claims North Korea is supporting Russia in the Ukraine conflict, an assertion Moscow and Pyongyang have repeatedly denied. North Korea views US-South Korea military exercises in the region as hostile actions that threaten Pyongyang's security. The North has taken measures to sever inter-Korean ties, reclassifying South Korea as a hostile nation and stating that reunification is no longer feasible. Last month, North Korea detonated sections of inter-Korean road and rail infrastructure along the border, with satellite images showing large trenches subsequently constructed along highways. Technically, the two Koreas remain at war, as the 1950 to 1953 Korean War ended with an armistice rather than a peace treaty.
The mysterious death of Kim Il-sung, untold stories revealed. Kim Il-sung, the great leader of North Korea, was not only a significant historical figure in his country, but also a symbol of an unmatched authoritarian regime. He didn't just build an isolated nation, but also stirred intense curiosity and interest from around the world. The mysteries surrounding Kim Il-sung's reign, along with tales of his life, political maneuverings, and controversial policies, have made North Korea a focal point on the global map. What keeps the world questioning this nation? Are there political secrets, or is it the existence of a unique culture and social dynamics that few have the chance to explore? Let's dive into the life of Kim Il-sung in this video. Kim Il-sung, the grandfather of Kim Jong-un, is a revered leader in North Korea. July 8, 1994, became a sorrowful day for North Koreans when they received news of their beloved leader's sudden passing due to a heart attack. Millions mourned his departure. However, the truth about Kim Il-sung's death. Nam Phong's account traces Kim Il-sung, the grandfather of current North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, from the founding of the country in 1948 until his passing. He served as prime minister from 1948 to 1972, and as president from 1972 until his death. Additionally, Kim Il-sung was the general secretar. According to North Korean sources, Kim Il-sung had a large tumor at the back of his neck. Doctors from Pyongyang's military hospital revealed that this tumor was a form of calcified stone, likely resulting from his impoverished childhood. Kim Il-sung grew up in a poor family with many siblings, enduring hardship, but he was determined to prioritize education. His intelligence and diligence saw him through those difficult years, although the hardships later impacted his health. Due to the tumor's location near his brain and spinal cord, surgery was not an option. For aesthetic reasons, North Korean photographers at the time always captured him from a slightly left-leaning angle. Interestingly, Kim Il-sung did not pass away due to complications from the tumor, but rather from a sudden heart attack. Yet previous health checkups showed no signs of heart disease in his medical history, prompting speculation about his premature aging before death. Despite his age, Kim Il-sung maintained a rigorous work schedule, managing numerous projects. He ordered the use of fuel from controversial nuclear research facilities in Jong-un. Despite international condemnation, Kim Il-sung persisted in pursuing nuclear research and uranium enrichment. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter visited Pyongyang to meet Kim Il-sung, and to the surprise of the United States and the International Atomic Energy Agency, Kim Il-sung unexpectedly agreed to halt nuclear research and expressed an interest in strengthening relations with Western countries. Many worldwide learned of former U.S. President Jimmy Carter's trip to North Korea, entering by car from the north-south border. This wasn't a state visit, but rather a personal one. On June 16th of that year, he met with Kim Il-sung to discuss nuclear issues and relations with neighboring South Korea. His wife, who was constantly by his side, was genuinely concerned about his health and frequently reminded him that, at 82, he could no longer work like a young man. A notable outcome of Jimmy Carter's visit was the message of goodwill from Seoul to Pyongyang. Receiving this special message, Kim Il-sung was delighted. If he could visit Seoul, it would mark the first meeting between North and South Korean leaders since the 1953 war. Kim Il-sung hoped his visit to South Korea would break the long-standing icy relations on the Korean peninsula. In the early 1990s, North Korea was virtually isolated from the outside world, with only limited ties to China. The economy was near collapse, weakened by excessive defense spending and insufficient agriculture. In early July 1994, Kim Il-sung personally inspected rural areas to understand the hards. During this time, his secretary informed him of the passing of a 75-year-old admiral, a longtime companion since the tumultuous war years. Kim Il-sung was deeply shocked by this news, quickly contacting Pyongyang Hospital to inquire further. Aware of the director's reluctance to bear responsibility, in the immediate aftermath, those around Kim Il-sung became frantic. Doctors were summoned, and an initial diagnosis suggested he had suffered an acute heart attack. However, as he had never shown symptoms of heart disease before, there was no medication on hand to address such an emergency. The heart attack was severe, and Kim Il-sung passed away, leaving the North Korean people in deep mourning. These are the latest revelations regarding Kim Il-sung's passing. Public doubts persist about how a previously healthy individual could suddenly succumb to heart disease. Yet, in reality, anything can happen. It's only a question of how the events unfold and how people interpret the information. Thank you for following this story about Kim Il-sung, the grandfather of North Korea's current leader, Kim Jong-un. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to our channel, enable notifications, and share it with others. Until next time, goodbye.